It is understandable how people get to a place of deep concern and resentment and anger about law enforcement. But this issue, it has been flattened out into a two-dimensional narrative that I think is not healthy for anyone. Because of the divisiveness of our culture right now. The demand is, whose side are you on? To choose a side. It was a very difficult film for me to make personally, being embedded within a police department and also stepping outside and seeing many friends on the front lines protesting the police. As a filmmaker, I want to try to hit that sweet spot where people recognize in each other humanity that they might not have seen otherwise. My journey of wanting to be a storyteller actually started in creative writing, thinking I was going to do scripted fiction, and then discovered documentary and really fell in love with it. You paint a picture of me as a baby, sort of growing up as a kid. Where would you start that story?
Well, I'd have to say the very first day we picked you up at the adoption center.
Growing up a mixed-race kid, I've always been pushed to try to see things from different perspectives. Navigating my identity. I got in trouble in college with drugs, went to federal prison, I've been in and out of rehabs, I've been in AA and NA meetings, and I've always carried with me that own complexity within my own soul. And I think that's why I take the approach that I take with my films.
No doubt, it was a hit.
Oh yeah, clearly.
It was a hit. Right now,
how many rounds fired?
Right now, it's up to 12 casing. Get some cameras up there. We're looking at the video to see if we see the car.
The Force is the second of a trilogy, looking at Oakland through the lens of its public institutions. And that idea of this grand narrative of one American city was to some degree inspired by The Wire.
You come at the king, you best not miss.
Which really did an amazing job unpacking the intricacies of Baltimore. The first television series that really made me pay attention, the sort of upending of stereotypes and the expectations of who people were. And the juxtaposition of, let's say, a drug dealer and a politician I found fascinating. And so we tried to some degree emulate that in our approach to telling this nonfiction series.
Here we go! Here we go! Who are we?
And when we turned our attention to the story of the police,
Who are we? OPD!
My team, my producers, we felt we hadn't really seen this story from the perspective of the institution itself that was being taken to task.
You're gonna start Friday building a legacy of who you are. You've heard of dirty cops before.
Ultimately, the framework of the film is a 2-year observation of the OPD attempting to reform.
You can't put your life on the line every day and it not mean anything.
This is the fourth shooting in 2 months of black men.
The department was trying to confront this problem of implicit bias.
What could you have said?
At the same time, trying to keep a city safe. Our job as documentarians is to take whatever access we are given and to try to observe and wait for officers to reveal themselves to our camera, and that's the art of the documentary filmmaker or the photographer is that moment. This is where we started many a night here at the Eastmont substation, and we would gear up here, put our bulletproof vests on here, and there just tended to be a lot of 911 activity around this area. One of the things I noticed right away was the feeling that I got being in a police car. Not the danger piece of it, like I'm gonna get shot or something like that, but the gaze. When we would drive through communities and we'd see people looking into that police car, it was a very antagonistic, the enemy has entered kind of feeling. And that was really a profound experience for me. It got me to understand cops internalize that because it's every day. That resentment, that anger, you can flip that script really easily. Going on a basketball court at night and playing some basketball with a bunch of young black kids. Police car rolls by and you feel that, like, what are you guys up to? And if cops could experience, what it's like to be a kid on that basketball court, what it's like to be a kid with that hoodie walking down the street, and vice versa, if those kids could experience, what the cops are experiencing, that would be a game changer, I think.
Hey folks, I'm with the man of the hour, Peter Nix.
It's true.
And
this is actually the first time the film is played in Oakland. So I'm excited, a little nervous. Members of the OPD, the activist community, people who've really been raising their voice calling for accountability, they're all here.
What did you learn most of all that you didn't know before?
That we have to learn how to hold multiple truths simultaneously, sometimes that are contradictory. We discovered this was a department that was seen and it was being held forward as a model for reform in the nation.
Right, right.
At the same time, it had sort of an internal, a lot of people describe it as a moral rot or a toxic culture. So I think this is really a film that asked the audience to put those two things side by side and draw meaning from it. Hello. Wow, we were here with The Waiting Room in 2012. And now we're back with a very different film. Thank you so much for coming, and I present The Force. We were filming 2 years, basically done with the film. About to leave for the Sundance editing lab to try to make sense of what was already a very complex film when a scandal took them down into a very dark place.
A press conference just wrapped up a short time ago. Mayor Libby Schaaf was there. Also, the police chief, Sean Went, was there. And this all is regarding allegations of sexual misconduct by Oakland police officers.
Officers sworn to protect and serve raped and trafficked a teenage girl from my community.
Really, it was a punch to the gut.
I want to assure the citizens of Oakland that we are hell-bent on rooting out this disgusting culture.
As difficult as that film ended and as tragic as the events that occurred were,
we all share the same disappointment. It's 750 something.
We're hoping that audiences don't lose sight. There's leadership within these departments that's trying to make a difference.
The people are consistently asked to give them another chance.
There are activists pushing for change.
We stay silent. They were not honest about the values they say they represent. They covered up corruption. So we say
with a film, sometimes it's a collection of all of this cultural material that moves us forward.
And if you refuse to do what is right, we will pull down your department brick by brick.